silence on AMOTEKUN calls for dialogue, says Nigeria's fabric not at risk with Southwest security outfit. The All Progressives Congress APC national leader ÇŞ1Ť1CS TINUBU has called for private discussion between the governors of the Southwest and the Attorney General and Minister of Justice Malam Abubakar Malami over AMOTEKUN, the security outfit of the Southwest states. He said the foundation of the country had not been put at risk with the Southwest Regional Security Outfit launched by the governors of the zone in a bid to confront the insecurity in their states. The former Lagos governor, however, warned that fabric could be torn by what he called the dangerous rhetoric of those who should know better. In his first intervention in the controversy surrounding AMOTEKUN, ÇŞ1Ť1 TINUBU said those claiming that this limited, inoffensive addition to security threatens the republic have taken themselves upon a madcap excursion. Those claiming that the federal government seeks to terribly suppress the Southwest have also lost their compass. Those who occupy these two extremes have sunken into the dark recesses of fear and political paranoia that can undo a nation if such sentiments are allowed to gestate. The statement, personally signed by him, entitled "The Public Discourse Over AMOTEKUN" and released on Wednesday, reads, saying AMOTEKUN, "This issue has dominated recent discourse and media headlines. Distilled to its basics, it concerns how best state governments can assist with the safety and security of their residents. This is a matter of serious concern entitled to sober thought. However, it has been turned into a political tug-of-war. Fierce, often unthinking rhetoric for and against has crossed the lips of too many Nigerians. More subjective talking than objective thinking has been the fuel of this outburst." Question those in favor of AMOTEKUN. Most have put the vaguest notion about it. They know few details, yet vigorously attribute to its opponents the most negative intentions. Ask those who oppose AMOTEKUN. They are equally ignorant of its provisions. They oppose the initiative not on its merit but merely because it was proposed by their political opponents or because they don't see an avenue for personal gain from it. Why colorful? The rhetoric has been disconcerting. How people have mishandled this matter demonstrates that we still have far to go in perfecting this democracy. Too much energy has been spent distorting this issue instead of seeking a resolution that supports local enhancement of security while keeping the constitution intact. If this becomes the standard of how we handle disagreements, then we will obscure Nigeria's path forward with our own rubbish. In this matter, I do not see malign intent in the differences of opinion between the Southwest governors as authors of AMOTEKUN and the Attorney General as the primary law enforcement officer of the federal government. Shorn of the overly dramatic language, what lies before us is but a step in the evolution of our federalism. This is an opportunity to more clearly define that federalism, but one cannot attain this better, more functional definition through overblown emotional language. Objectivity and calmness are required. To a significant degree, the enduring quality of our republic will be established by the sagacity with which we handle disagreements regarding the division of power between federal and state governments. Such disagreements are inevitable. This is not the first, nor will it be the last. We must devote our energies more toward solving problems rather than amplifying them. He says, seeking to fulfill their mandates by helping protect their people, the governor of the Southwest collectively established a program to buttress existing security mechanisms, seeking to protect the constitution as best he could. The Attorney General offered his opinion on what he believed the governors have sought to do. No one can blame either party for seeking to fulfill what they genuinely see as their public duty. Until now, I have deliberately maintained a studied silence regarding Amotekun. Many have tried to goad my swift public reaction. Those who have taken this route did so not because they care about Amotekun or even the people it intends to help protect. They did so knowing this had become a delicate and emotional issue for many. These cynics did so with the adversarial hope that in haste I might misspeak or misstep in a manner they could twist to their political advantage. Such people are possessed of a mercenary aspect that permits them to sacrifice almost anything, even jeopardize the very foundations of our political unity, if they might exert personal gain from the upheaval, in that they know no nobler purpose than their own appetite. We should feel sorry for them. However, we must not allow our sympathies for their barren condition to persuade us that there is worth in their destructive misconduct. They must be left to the consequences of their own devices. If truly I am a political leader, as I am often described, then I have not this luxury of hasty, ill-conceived utterances. There are those who will use inflamed words to spark the passions of others. This may bring transient applause, but when the cheers fade, we shall only have further descended because their words were never inclined towards resolution and long-term improvement, but towards short-term popularity and perpetual confrontation. I believe in this nation and its benign prospects. I dearly love its people, all of them. Over the years of our existence, they have suffered much, yet they still hold forth with heroic patience and an extraordinary optimism born of strong faith. To these people I owe my best. I shall not treat them cheaply or badly their emotions like some errant football. The welfare of these good and decent people is my overriding concern. Equally, I do not cow to the demands of those who press for me to make a premature statement on an important issue. Again, that is a game devised by those who care more about political cleverness than the quality of governance. I choose to talk when my position has been made ripe by a collection of the facts and a reasonable assessment of those facts. As I view it, this matter can be divided in three major parts. 1. Substantive merits of Amotekun. 2. Decision-making and consultative process. And 3. Recommendations on the way forward. Amotekun governors and security as the highest elected officials in his state and thus the individual embodiment of the will of the people. A governor must view safety and security as a foremost priority, integral to his mandate. To turn a blind eye to these concerns would be a grave dereliction. That the Southwest governors seek to work together to complement the extant security architecture is, in principle, a commendable undertaking. In embracing this concept, they have acted in consonance with the spirits of their offices for the better interest of their people. As governor of Lagos State, I confronted a vigilant criminal menace. I could not sit idly in the face of the violence and property destruction that struck genuine fear in the hearts of the people. The police tried as best they could, but their coverage was thin. They simply did not have the personal or material wherewithal to be everywhere at once. We formed Neighborhood Watch to help fill the gap. Our aim was not to replace existing structures but to complement and augment them. The mission of Neighborhood Watch was to monitor the wards and neighborhoods of the state. The group would gather information and intelligence to pass to the police and security authorities. The Neighborhood Watch also provided an early warning system to keep citizens from harm's way. The idea works. Crime and violence reduced significantly. Even the overreaching Obasanjo government did not contend against neighborhood watch. Even the overreaching Obasanjo government did not contend against neighborhood watch. Judging from the public statements of the governors, AMOTEKUN is meant to be structured along similar lines. As I understand it, AMOTEKUN is to be another set of eyes and ears to assist the police. As such, it is but the second generation of neighborhood watch expanded to a regional scale. Conceptually, there is nothing wrong with this. It does not appear to insult the constitution. However, my position regarding AMOTEKUN is not blind or uncritical. There are several organizations and functional aspects of the proposal that could cause some problems if left unresolved. First, the stated mission is information gathering by civilians. Such tasks are always and everywhere best done in low-key fashion. Some aspects of AMOTEKUN seem to undermine rather than enhance this function. Second, equipping AMOTEKUN with showy paraphernalia may cause the public to misconstrue the role of AMOTEKUN, incorrectly believing its mandate is more expansive than it is. The possible disconnect could impede the good aims of the program. We also should consider that the Buhari administration has approved implementation of a policy of community policing, wherein additional recruits from all 774 local government areas will be added to the force to help protect their own communities. As the federal government emphasizes grassroots policing, it is uncertain how well AMOTEKUN can complement the police force as the force moves towards greater decentralization when AMOTEKUN is organizationally leaning in the opposite way. We have been fighting for local and decentralized policing for a long time because we know that too much centralization impedes performance. In regard to actual performance of its appointed tasks, AMOTEKUN should have focused on grassroots local organization at the state level without a regional command hierarchy. The regional approach may undermine efficiency. There is no compelling logic why the same personnel providing security and informational assistance in Ado-Ekiti should be under the same functional and operational leadership as those providing assistance in Lekki or Akure. This will not lead to optimal performance. The regional approach has only limited benefit with regard to the procurement and maintenance of vehicles and communications equipment because this wider approach allows for economies of scale. The regional approach also helps tackle the growing indices of interstate criminal activity. Some things need to be corrected before AMOTEKUN becomes operational. If not, it will not live up to expectations. Thus, the current formulation of AMOTEKUN is in need of repair before it takes to the road only to quickly slip into a ditch. Wow, big English and grammar. He also speaks on consultative process breakdown. He said the governor states that they consulted regularly with the police and security agencies. This was the right thing to do. However, their failure to include the office of the Attorney General in this discussion is the fount of the current public outcry. This was an unfortunate omission the governors should regret and seek to remedy. However, the conceptual merits and positive functional aspects of AMOTEKUN should not be tainted by these procedural defects. While the Attorney General is a conscientious public servant, he is also human. Not having been consulted, he was suddenly faced with an unexpected public announcement regarding a matter within his office ambit. He likely feared the failure to consult him meant that the federal prerogatives were being encroached. To blame him for his conclusion will be to blame human nature itself. Though his negative reaction was understandable, it was also unhelpful. The Attorney General acted hastily in rendering a public statement that was more inaccurate than it should have been. AMOTEKUN was never proposed as a defense agency, the Attorney General erred in using this description. The use of uniforms and brightly colored vehicles may not be the best idea, but they do not render AMOTEKUN a defense agency or paramilitary group any more than a designated school van carrying or uniformed students constitutes a paramilitary deployment. Believing the governors had crossed the line, the Attorney General should have reached out to them before going public. He should have sought a private meeting so that he could have a better factual understanding of AMOTEKUN. This would have enabled him to give the governors any specific constitutional or other objectives he might have. In this way, the two sides would have engaged in private consultations to reach agreements on the way forward. This cooperative process might have helped to correct some of the organizational lapses above identified. Such a diplomatic and wise step also would have prevented the current public acrimony now surrounding the issue. Concerning recommendations for resolution, he said this matter cannot be resolved on the pages of newspapers or by attributing negative motives to either side. The best way to resolve this is for the two sides to enter private discussions. Either the governors should seek an official but private meeting with the Attorney General, or the Attorney General can initiate the contact. Since AMOTEKUN is their initiative, the governors bear the greater honors in seeking the meeting. The meeting will initiate further discussion on how to resolve what appears to be a misunderstanding caused by an unfortunate lack of communication. Remedy the gap in communication and the misunderstanding will begin to disappear. Last, I again stress to well-intentioned Nigerians to shun those who employ heated language to inflame emotions. It does us no good to rush toward exaggerated statements that suggest calamity to the highest order. Don't allow yourselves to be fodder for those who seek to divide us. The fabric of the republic has not been put at stake by AMOTEKUN. However, the fabric could be torn by the dangerous rhetoric of those who should know better, those claiming that this limited, inoffensive addition to security threatens the republic have taken themselves upon a madcap excursion. Those claiming that the federal government seeks to terribly suppress the Southwest have also lost their compass. Those who occupy these two extremes have sunken into the dark recess of fear and political paranoia that can undo a nation if such sentiments are allowed to gestate. We are one nation, 200 million strong with 36 states and a great complex of federal authority residing in dozens of federal ministries and agencies. If everyone is allowed to allow their democratic expression, there are bound to be disagreements. This is inherent in the federal structure. Natures that have practiced federalism much longer than us still frequently debate over where the line between state and federal power is to be drawn. They have hundreds of court cases each year on this very issue, yet they do not attack each other as we do. We must all learn to be more restrained and judicious in our reactions when such disagreements arise. Before leaping from our seats to lift our voice to the high rafters in profound indignation, we first would be wise to properly discern the situation. We must ascertain whether it merely is a tempest in a teapot or whether our house and all its teapots are swirling in a real tempest. Despite the ominous headlines and heated talk, an objective analysis points more clearly to the former than the latter. The resolution of this matter is not beyond us if only we allow ourselves to be the democrats that our better conscience and the very documents of our national existence call us to be. In trying to help resolve this matter, I have initiated communication with the chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum, Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu, with a view to meeting the Southwest governors to explore amicable solutions to the avoidable controversy. I am sure that at the end of it all, peace, security, and progress shall reign in our nation. Thank you. So, guys, you heard from Jagaban. He has said a lot of things, but some people do not even agree with him. Someone says he's a betrayer. That what is he saying? Someone say, who is Tinubu on this matter? AMOTEKUN is not a political party. Someone say, Yepa, Tinubu, I am disappointed. AMOTEKUN must stay. And someone says, this man is a chameleon and it was the great disgrace to the entire Yoruba race, but nothing lasts forever. We shall all see. Someone says, this man is sitting on the fence. Someone you tell him that he should stop sitting on the fence. And people say, oh, this man is so intelligent. He's a true leader. Someone says, I don't just understand what these people really want. You are making noise that he should comment. Now he comments and gives reasons why he did not comment earlier and told you he has to comment when it is the right time for him to do so. And people are still talking. Someone says, Tinubu, we didn't ask you to speak English. Simple question. Are you in support or not of AMOTEKUN or not? You started writing WAEC essay. Nigerians. Someone says, please, can someone summarize this for us? The only point I derive here is the interaction between the governors and the Attorney General. And someone says, Tinubu is not against AMOTEKUN, but he is looking for a way to perfect it. Someone says, very apt and comprehensive article from the former governor of Lagos State. Someone says, what else is there to discuss about AMOTEKUN that was laboriously discussed about any of the security outfits floated in the north to complement the efforts of former security in fighting criminals and insurgency? Did any of them meet to seek the approval of the Attorney General of Nigeria? What kind of lopsided federation are we operating in this country that tends to make freeborn servants? So guys, let's hear your take concerning what people have said and what Jagaban himself has said. You heard all he said. Please leave your comments below in the comment section. Thank you.